Welcome to my Barlates Body Blitz Bosu mat workout. For today's workout, all you will need is a Bosu and an exercise mat. If you don't have one of these, you can do most of the exercises just on the mat. You might want to add some weights to add intensity, or if you have a stability ball, you can also improvise with that. Just make sure that you're really careful because obviously it doesn't have the sturdy base. So I don't want you rolling off it and hurting yourself. Okay, so let's get started. Just put your elbows on your Bosu right in the center. Then bring your knees out and start to just come into that nice plank position. Just holding a perfect plank. You can either have your feet up or if you prefer to have them down, it's up to you. And even just holding this position, you should start to feel your arms, your shoulders, your core engaging. Now I want you to slowly just tuck your hips under and release. So you're just tucking and release. It's tuck and release. It's like you're doing a crunch, only you're in a plank position. You're trying to get your hips to your ribs, keeping your shoulders really nice and tall, making sure you're not hunching your neck, and you're tucking and release. Tuck and release. Just starting to build some heat in the core. The Bosu is fantastic for working the core, and even when you're performing other exercises, you will notice your core engaging just to stabilize you because it is such an uneven surface. 5 more like this. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I want you to come up on your hands, walk your knees in slightly, roll your toes under and come into a full plank. Make sure that your shoulders are above your wrists, then bend back and shoot forward. So your glutes to the back, bending your knees and then shooting back forward into that perfect plank. Every time you shoot forward, make sure that you're coming to a completely straight position with your body. You're squeezing your glutes, you're straightening out behind your knees, your arms are straight the entire time, and you're returning your shoulders on top of your wrists every time. Back and forward. Squeeze through the front of your thighs as well in order to warm them up. Looking straight ahead, your neck in nice alignment with your spine, and forward. Back and forward. Just 3 more like this, all the way back, and 1, hold your tummies in strong, and 2, and all the way back, and 3. Great job. Now we're turning around and we're putting our feet on the ball. I'm wearing my yoga grip socks to help me get some grip. But if you don't have them, bare feet should be fine. Make sure your toes are in the middle of the ball, your wrists are under your shoulders, and you raise yourself up. So once again, making sure you're in a perfect plank position, then slowly start dropping your knees. Now you're probably not going to be able to get all the way to the ground, depending on how tall you are, but this just gives you a larger range of motion than if we did this in a normal plank position. So down and down. Down and down. Really spread your shoulder blades apart, pushing them to the ceiling, and try to hold a really sturdy core so that you're not sinking in your lower back. Down and down. Walking those feet out all the way. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now we're going to do those little tucks we did earlier, but in an extended plank. So tuck under and release. It's a tuck under with your hips and release. When you're releasing, you're not swaying your back. Tuck and release. Tuck and release. Squeeze your glutes. Not many more of these. All the way in and out. Just 4 and out, 3 and out, 2 and release, and last one and release. Great job. Coming down, I want you to sit with your back against the ball so that you're resting your lower back in there and your glutes are just hovering off the ground. This is a perfect position to help you with that Pilates C-sit, so that when you bring your shoulders forward or your chest forward, you have that nice C curve in your abdominal region. So raise your hands up in front of you, just above your knees, and bring your shoulders forward. So just feel that position, feel your lower back pressing into that half ball. Hold your tummy in really, really strong here. And then just start bringing your fingertips above your knees. Tiny little crunches. Just feel how that ball is massaging your spine and how it's giving you that little bit of extra stability to push up and over those knees. All the way over. Really having to focus on never releasing the core. You're keeping that C curve and holding your belly button into your spine as hard as you can and just pushing forward and forward. Go for 8 and 7, 6 and 5, just 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now stay forward and we're going to open our arm to the front and to the back. So keep your arms straight and look in the direction that you're sweeping your arm. Make sure you still got that C-sit position. Your fingertips should still be above your knees. Don't let them drift further and further towards you. Push your fingertips away from you over those knees and then push them to the corners of the room. Down and down. You should be feeling that burn now in your upper arms and also your obliques. And down. Down and down. Arms are fully extended, tensing all those muscles. Go for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Awesome job. Now we're going to come up and sit on the ball. So just try and sit right in the center of the ball and your legs are in front of you, slightly bent. You can put your fingertips on the ground and we're just going to lift our legs in. So as you lift your knee towards your center, start to push your chest forward slightly so that you feel there's not only your lower abs, but also your upper abs. In. So you should still actually feel that burn from the previous exercise in your upper abs. Pushing forward and forward and forward and forward. We're going to do 8 like this. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to lift your legs off. So this is the next level and touch down and down. This time you're just bringing your shins back to a tabletop position and you're keeping your upper body static. You're looking straight ahead, pointing that toe and just tapping it down. Holding yourself on that Bosu, trying to really engage your core by pulling in your belly button strongly and only using your fingertips on the floor there. Very little pressure so that the majority of the stabilization work is being issued from your core. Still kind of lean forward in that C-sit, don't allow your shoulders to go all the way back. For 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now keeping it up, we're going to start switching our legs, extending long and then bringing it back in. It's like a bicycle, just for your lower body, and you should be feeling that in your core, especially your lower abs. Try to keep your feet up. If throughout this workout you can't do the exercise I'm showing you, you can modify. For example, if you tap down like this and place your heels on the ground in between, that's a lot easier. Or if you keep your legs bent rather than extending, that's easier as well. Really hitting those lower abs. Extend long and squeeze those quads so that you're also getting a bit of a thigh engagement. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Great job. Now we're coming back so that our shoulder blades are in the center of the ball and you're raising your hips up so that you can do a crunch position with enough range of motion, okay? So make sure that it's the center of the ball that your shoulder blades are pressing into. Then put your hands by your ears and start crunching up and down, up and down. Just a regular abdominal crunch. Just a few like this to get into the right position where you feel it. If you need to move around, move backwards or forward slightly on the ball to feel the exercise more, then please do so. Everyone is different, so my positioning may not be the best for you, especially if you're a lot taller or shorter than me, so just find the right position for your body. All the way up, keep your hips up, try not to drop them down. That's going to keep the lower abs engaged for 8 and 7 and 6, 5 and 4, just 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to extend the arms and we're going to go side to side over each knee. It's back and up, back and up. So you're pushing your fingertips over the opposite knee. Side to side, you're crunching up. You're feeling that now in your obliques. Side to side. Try to keep your hips up as well. Side to side. Just pushing out as far as you can with those fingertips. Side to side. Trying to keep your chest facing the ceiling. So don't, I know you have to rock a little bit, but try not to actually rock so much so your chest faces the side wall. Keep it up to the ceiling. Side to side. Tummy's in strong. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I want your hands down by your calves and we're trying to tap our calves. Pushing forward to the same side now, and it's side to side. Just swiveling through that waist, keeping our hips up, squeezing through the oblique area and trying to touch our calves every time, side to side. Really squeezing that waist, whittling away the waist. Keep your hips up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Now come down safely and we're going to turn sideways on the ball. I want you to bring your rib cage on top of the ball so that you can place your other hand on the ground. Bend the bottom leg underneath you and just elevate that top leg and just start raising up. Long levers, toe pointed, nice side leg raise. What this Bosu is doing is it's bringing your core up, which means you'll be engaging that muffin top area along with the outer thigh and glute. Keep your alignment perfect. Your chest is facing the front of the room, your kneecap is facing the front of the room, and you're leading with the outer thigh. Nice raises all the way up. Squeezing those glutes. Press that knee into the ground on your supporting leg so that you actually feel a little bit of engagement on that outer thigh as well. And up, and up. All the way up. Keep going. Breathing through it. Breathe through the burn. It's just lactic acid buildup. You can do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to do like a bicycle motion. It's a forward pointed back flexed. Forward pointed back flex. Point, extend and flex. Point, extend and flex. Now if you find it a bit difficult to get the feet right, just stay pointed or stay flexed. It doesn't matter. But if you can, flex on the way back. That's engaging more of those front of the thigh muscles. Okay, so try and actually kick all the way back so you feel your glutes engage on the back motion. It's forward and all the way back and back. But still keep your knee towards the front of the room the entire time. Don't let your foot turn out. Just 3 more like this, 2 more like this, and last one like this. Now go all the way back, keep it back and point and flex. You're tilting forward with your body. Flex and point, flex and point. You should really be starting to feel it on your supporting leg as well, on the outer thigh. Point and flex, flex and point. Try to keep your leg at least in line with your hip, if not a bit further back. Flex and point, flex and point. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Now try to reposition yourself so your hip is up on that Bosu, right in the center there. Bring the top leg in front and we extend the bottom leg and we're doing inner thigh raises. So we're just going to raise up with our kneecap still facing the front of the room, and you're just slightly tapping down and then up. All the way up, trying to lead with that heel. Turning the leg up turning the heel up, so that you really feel that rotation and get into that inner thigh. You're meeting your two inner thighs together. It's up and up, all the way, squeezing, squeezing. If you find this uncomfortable to put your leg in front, you can also put it behind. It just means that you have to fight to make sure that you're not rotating all the way back with your shoulders. You need to keep your shoulders stacked, but you can do this as well. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to bend and extend, keeping the leg high. I'm just going to move my leg back. Bend and extend. Really squeeze the front of your thigh as you extend. Keep your toe pointed and try to keep the leg up high. Don't let it drop down to the mat. That will keep engaging that inner thigh. All the way out. Keep your tummy pulled in. Your hips are stacked. Your chest is forward. Don't let your chest roll up to the ceiling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Coming down, and we're just going to change sides. So I'm going to move my Bosu, and we're going to start off with those outer thigh raises. So starting off with just bring your rib cage into the center of the ball, making sure you're nice and comfortable. Your elbows down on the other side. Your knee is bent and it's in line with your hip. You're extending your top leg and you raise up. The other hand is just in front. Try to make sure both your shoulders are facing the front. Don't turn out like this. So to the front, and your kneecaps to the front, and you're leading with that outer thigh. Squeezing up. Your leg is in line with your hip. Don't let it come forward or you'll lose the glute recruitment. Try to think glute and outer thighs. All the way up and up. Your neck should be nice and long. Don't hunch your shoulders. Up and up. Point through the toe. Think about lengthening away as well as up. All the way up. Trying to keep that other hip slightly off the mat. That will help you to engage the lower outer thigh as well at the same time. Although we did just work that one, so I'm sure it's going to get sore soon. Just from holding your body weight. All the way up for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to do that bicycle where we're going to point to the front, flex and push back. It's a point and flex, a point and flex. So you're really pushing behind, trying to squeeze that glute at the back there. All the way to the front and all the way to the back. On the front, you're squeezing the front of your thigh, your quad, and on the back, you're squeezing your glutes. Make sure that your kneecap is still towards the front the entire time. You will move through the upper body a little bit here, but that's okay. All the way front and back. Front and back. Really feeling both outer thighs now. All the way back. As if you're just riding this huge bike where you can hardly touch the pedals. And back. Just 3 more like this. And back. 2 more. And back. Last one. And back. Hold it back. Now it's point and flex. Point and flex. Keep your leg back. Make sure it's at least in line with the hip, if not further back. It's point and flex. Point and flex. Really feeling the burn now. Think that it's just lactic acid in there. That's what's causing that real intense muscle burn. So it's mind over matter. I feel my leg is getting closer and closer to the mat, but try to keep it up there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ouch, that really burned. Okay, we're coming up further onto that Bosu with our hip, and we're going to extend, bring the front leg on top, extend the bottom leg, and up with that inner thigh. So make sure that your kneecap on the bottom extended leg is facing the front of the room, and you're leading with that heel. Up and up, up and up. Trying to get your inner thighs to touch. You can create a little bit of bounce on the ball, it will probably help you, but try not to bounce too much. Try to keep it focused. And once again, if you prefer having it back here, it actually feels quite good at the back here because it releases that outer glute area a little bit. It's up and up, up and up, but just make sure your chest is facing the front of the room. Don't allow it to face the ceiling. Up and up. Point your toe all the way up. 8, 7, 6, and 5. Just 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I'm going to bring my leg back to the front and we're going to do a bend extend. Bend extend. It's like a little flutter. And you're really squeezing through the front of that thigh, trying to keep it up high so that you're really still engaging that inner thigh and squeezing. Keep your kneecap to the front of the room, keep your hips stacked, your tummy in. Don't slouch in your shoulder like this, but pull away so your neck is nice and long. And really squeeze through the front of that quad. All the way out, fluttering. 8, and 7, and 6, and 5. Just 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Come down for a second and just sit to the side so that you stretch out that glute. Push away a little bit, really get into that glute oblique area. And switch your legs around. And same thing. Really sit into that, stretching out through here. And now we're going to move on to pure glutes. So I want you to make sure that your back, make sure you're lined up and your back is on the Bosu. So you're holding your tummy in strong. And we're going to do hip thrusts. So actually come off a little bit so that your butt can move freely up and down. So wherever you feel comfortable. And then just look up at the ceiling. Your hips are your legs are parallel with your hips, and you just start going up and down, pushing your hips up to the ceiling. Now, if ever you feel this is uncomfortable, you can support your head with your hands, and that will actually engage your abs a little bit as well. So you're just thrusting up and up, pushing your hips up to the ceiling. Having that little bit of extra room between the floor and your glutes means you can make that range of motion a lot more than if you're lying on the ground. It's push and push. So at the top, you're squeezing the glutes, squeezing, really trying to do your best to straighten out this area where the hip flexor is. And up and up. Just go for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Just 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now we're going to move forward even further so your butt is actually on the ground and your shoulders are resting into the ball. That's going to increase the range of motion even more, and it's up and down. Just test it here. Up and down. Remember, you can put your hands behind your head. Up and down. Now what we're going to do is after 4 more like this, we're going to speed it up a little bit. 3, 2, 1. one, keep it up and just pump up and up, up. So stay high with those glutes and you're increasing that speed and you're just squeezing up and up, up. Just think up. Try to make the up more of an emphasis than the down. Up and up. Trying to keep my battery backpack from hitting this Bosu, so I have to keep my head up in an unnatural angle. But if you want to, you can actually lay your head back onto the Bosu. Up and up. Keep going, keep squeezing, building that heat in the glutes for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, just 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now walk your feet together so your feet are touching and your knees are going out and in, out and in. You're going to squeeze together your knees all the way up to your inner thighs. Squeeze, as if you've got a balloon there and you're trying to pop it with your legs. And squeeze, all the way in. Try to keep your hips up, up. You're staying at the top of that movement and you're squeezing together as hard as you can. Really trying to squeeze all the way through the inner thigh and the outer thigh. Your tummy's pulled in and in and in, for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now legs parallel again. Bring them in closer and come up on your toes. We're going to go down and squeeze, down and squeeze. Slow pace to start on your toes. So it's down and squeeze up, down and all the way up. Really hold for a second at the top of the motion so that you feel the stretch in the front of the thighs. Down, squeeze up, down and up. All the way, straightening those hip flexors. Down and up, down and up. Really breathing through it. Up high on those tippy toes. 8 and 7, 6 and 5 and 4, 3, 2 and 1. And last little thing, squeeze up, fast pace at the top. Stay up high on your tippy toes and just keep pulsing up, up, up. Last little bit for the glutes. Keep going for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Great job. Rolling down. We're going to do a few back extensions to finish up. So turning around and bringing your chest onto that Bosu. Okay, so just make sure you're nice and comfortable. You can relax your legs for now. And we're going to come down and up. So they're back extensions. So once again, just find a position that will allow you the right range of motion to feel this in your lower back. If you want to come forward more, you can. It's down and up. Squeeze up. Squeeze at the top there. Really feeling the small of your back contract up and up. As high as you can. All the way up. Up. If you want to, you can also squeeze your shoulder blades together on the up. So slight little squeeze on those shoulder blades. Up and up. Keep your neck in nice alignment with your spine and up. All the way up. Hold your tummy in strong. Keep going. You can do it. For 8 and 7 and 6. Just 5 and 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Now I want you to make goalposts with your arms and we're going to tap down side to side. You're tapping your entire forearm down Make sure you're anchored in your legs and you're just rotating side to side, side to side, feeling it in your waist. And as you go to the other side, squeeze that other arm up and back. Squeezing up and back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, side to side. Try to keep your neck long, looking straight ahead and side. Your legs are what's anchoring you, so try to really separate them a bit to give you a better base of support. And squeeze up, up. 8, 7, 6, and 5, and 4, 3, 2, 1. Now stay up, so you're engaging that lower back and just back with your arms. So it's back. So you're still in that 90-degree angle with your arms and you're just squeezing your shoulder blades together. Back and back, back and back. All the way up, all the way up. Chest high. 8, and 7, and 6, and 5. Just 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Great job. Oh, roll those shoulders. I'm just going to move my Bosu back so I have more space in front of my mat. This time I want you to put your hips on the middle of the Bosu so that you can raise your legs up and your forearms are down. Your neck is really nice and straight, and we're just going to lift up our legs. So just position yourself so that you get the right range of motion. Try to keep them off the mat. If you need to tap down in between, that's okay. So you're really now working the lower portion of the back and a little bit of upper glute. So try to lift your legs as one unit. Up and down, up and down. You will find that you roll forward a little bit on the Bosu, that's fine. Hold your tummy in. Make sure that you're not hunching your shoulders and really just focus on lifting as high as you can to engage that lower back. A strong core is so important because it helps to corset your organs, it gives you better posture. So really think about working your lower back as well as the front of your abs. A lot of people just focus on abs, but your lower back is just as important. And up, and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it up and just flutters. Tiny little flutter kicks. You're keeping it high. You're really just squeezing those glutes into fists and fluttering the legs in a fast motion, but keeping the rest of your upper body very stable and just fluttering. It's a very focused, targeted exercise that will really get into those muscles that run along the side of your spine. And keep going, keep pushing through. 8, and 7, and 6, and 5. Just 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Last exercise, it's a bend, extend. Bend in, extend. So your legs are coming out, touch your toes together, and then extend. Think about squeezing your hamstrings. So it's in and out. You're really squeezing through the front of your thighs as well as you extend. Really stretching out long. Keep your legs high so your glutes stay engaged. And keep your tummy pulled in. Your lower back should still be engaged as well. Keep on just pushing away. It's like you're pushing through some thick mud with your shins. It's not supposed to be easy. Create your own resistance here. In and extend. In and extend. All the way out. All the way out. If pointing your feet is uncomfortable here, you can flex as well. That just hits the hamstring in a slightly different way. Go for 8, and 7, and 6, just 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Awesome job. Just coming off that Bosu, and we're going to go into a child's pose to release that back. So just bring your arms on the Bosu and just pull away and push your spine towards the back of the room. Really just trying to pull the shoulder blades apart. Wiggle from side to side, stretching out through the shoulders and the arms. Then come up, like a cat stretch, and forward into a cow stretch, and then back up. And forward, releasing through that back. And then just sit so that your back is against the Bosu. Bring one foot on top of that knee. You can lean back a little bit. And if you want to, bring your leg up to pull that other foot in towards your chest. Really feeling the glute of the bent leg, the top leg stretching all the way in. And then other side, reach under the knee, and if you want to, push up. If you want to use your elbow to press that other leg away, that will also intensify the glute stretch. That feels great. And then just put one leg on top of the Bosu and chest towards your knee. So this will just help to lift up and intensify the hamstring stretch. Make sure it's your back that is really nice and flat and you bring your chest down. Don't round like this to try and get your head down. It's your chest down. Pull back on your toes and increase that stretch. And then just change sides. Other leg on top, and chest to the knee. Really stretching out through the back of that leg, lengthening out. And then for inner thigh, you can come up and place that foot on top and then push down with that inner thigh. Really feeling that stretch. That feels great. And then we'll do the other side. I'll just move my Bosu over. Other side, foot on top and push down. Lengthening out all those tired muscles. And we did work our upper body a little bit, so just come and sit cross-legged, reach onto your knees and push away with your shoulder blades separating, pushing towards the back of the room. And just change which arm is on top and do the same thing. And then twist towards the back. Nice and tall posture, feeling it through the waist, and the other way. And just arm across, and across, and you're done. Thanks for joining me for my total body Bosu mat workout. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to working out with you again soon.